and talk about how they marriage survived this as some form of like a series of episodes or something like that?
Are they still
Um,
married? Are they
I
still
don't.
married legally?
Are they still? I don't know if they're still married. What I'm to be clear, what I'm saying is I don't know. Right. This is my opinion.
This is one of the reasons why I dislike the overuse of social media, because with the advent of social media, everybody has a platform. Issues that would normally affect real people, we have so many different ways to take it, and we can assume that it's for attention, it's for notoriety, it's for clout, it's for prestige, it's for ratings, and it makes it difficult for people. So let's say that it's true with them. Let's say this whole big ordeal is going to generate great numbers, is going to get more revenue. But for the people who this represents, this is oftentimes why people don't come out and say anything. Because if they come out and they open up and talk about their experience, it's so unbelievable to us. We think it must be, out. It must be something used for marketing. But the truth is, this is real people's life. It's just that now, because we are so less personable with each other, we can't really talk. We have to find some level of comfort from strangers, because typically the people around us can't imagine us dealing with something so. To be honest, I guarantee you, when she looks back, she can't believe the stuff that she went through. Right? She probably can't. If she looks back and think about and she replays this video and think about what she's admitted that she's done, in a couple years, she won't be able to believe it. The people around you typically can't believe it as well. And this is why I hate social media, because we don't believe anything anymore. We've seen so much. We've seen the worst of worst. And when somebody comes out and talks about the depths that they degraded themselves to win the approval of somebody, we can't believe it, because we've seen so much, and we reduce it to marketing because we no longer are able to simply understand that somebody had a human experience that is almost unfathomable. So we just reduce it down to marketing. And I think it speaks to the times we live in. We can't heal because nobody believes in pain anymore. Everything is about marketing. Everything is about ratings. And I think that this obviates a deep problem we have in our personal relationships with people.
May I respond, or can I respond to that?
Yeah. Go ahead, respond with that.
Okay. Um, I appreciate your perspective. I'm saying because I'm as close to the scenario than most is the reason why I'm saying it. I wouldn't necessarily say I would say it otherwise, right? What I'm saying to you is that his platform is not centered around heartache and heartbreak of a woman that has been scorned. Is what I'm saying. That's not his platform at all. This is the one time that I can remember, because I've watched him pretty regularly, and the other gentlemen they can vouch for it, that he typically is promoting marriage. That's his stance for the past maybe 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very much of an outlier for him to do. So that's why I would say that.
Right. So that may be marketing for him, but it may not necessarily be marketing for her. She might have came on and she might really be pouring her heart out, and he probably be just saying it was the opportunity to get some ratings. So
Let me make sure I understand Humble Dad real quick. Okay, so he's saying based on his platform, he typically promotes marriage. Are you suggesting that this is employed not only between her but her husband to create this narrative of how bad their marriage is and how far it's gone, only for them to both come back to his platform and talk about how they marriage survived this as some form of like a series of episodes or something like that?
Are they still married? Are they
I
still
don't.
married legally?
Are they still? I don't know if they're still married. What I'm to be clear, what I'm saying is I don't know. Right. This is my opinion. Right. And so I'm just providing my particular perspective, and I'm okay with the disagreement. What I'm saying is, um, she could have chose any particular platform that is involved around her particular circumstance, to kind of be in that particular sphere, that market, or that genre, right? But she chose the guy that promotes marriage, is what I'm saying. So that's just my take on it.
So, what would be your take if she was on a different platform, like let's say like The View or something, where it's more or something that's more centered around women?
Well, it's not, but I mean, my take would be one of authenticity. And like I said before, I mean, she was obsessed with other women. I'm sorry, no, I said that wrong. She was insecure enough to be okay, stay in the marriage, knowing that her husband is cheating on her, and then trying to emulate what these women were doing to her husband.
Well,
So,
Okay.
what if she's not the only one? What if other people don't realize that they're trying to emulate that? You know, because a lot of times women will find these things out and they'll stay. They'll cry their eyeballs out and then stay. What if they hadn't internalized the fact that, or processed the fact that they actually maybe try to emulate that as well? They say maybe he likes this, so maybe I'll do more of this. Maybe I'll be more open to BDSM or something like that because I see that he's into that. After she finds out he's into it and they have a conversation, maybe that is just a thing. Maybe she just outwardly says that that's what I'm trying to do.
I will piggyback and I will say, I think actually that aligns. What she said actually aligns with this platform a lot. If you think about it, if he speaks about the success of marriages and things like that, sometimes you also have to talk about the failures or the problems that may occur. This is one of those things that a married couple would have to experience. Like, obviously, she has a very extreme version of that. But I think that would create a very good conversation in this space when talking about how people keep their marriages together. And that, I think that would create a different kind of conversation.
well, then why not have both of them there?
Because I don't think she wants to be around him.
But think about it. But think about it. DJ Vlad has had everybody that surrounded the whole Tupac situation, him losing his life. They will. It could be a buildup. It could be a buildup to try to coerce him to be there. And then look what's happening. Car's not the only one that's sharing this. So it absolutely makes sense to do it. Like, why wouldn't he do it?
I just want to focus on the issue that she communicated. You know what I mean? She communicated she was cheated on by a dude she loved, and we're talking about what platform that she. I think this is a problem. I think this is a problem in modern. This woman was broken.
I'm with you, sir.
This woman was broken. This woman went through, and I'm pro man. You guys know my content. When I see this, first of all, let's put some things out on the table. She actually is attractive. If you look over the last couple of years in comparison to how Derek Jackson presents himself, if you look at that, it started to look like she didn't fit with him. When I look at this video, there's a couple of things that I can derive from this. Number one, a man should have been bigging up his wife. Anytime a woman goes on other women's platforms and she's trying to compete with other women, that means that there's an opportunity for the man to build her up that he hasn't taken advantage of. That's the first thing. When a woman, particularly if you've made her feel like she can't compete and she can never win you, it makes sense why she comes out any kind of way, because she feels like she's already lost. And whether we like this or not, most women don't have the ability to dress beyond how they feel. How they look is typically how they feel. If they carry themselves up in a certain way, well, at least that day, that's how they feel. If you get a woman to present herself in a way in public, online, where she's not dressed up, she ain't done nothing with herself, she's defeated. And you got to really ask yourself why that is. It is because after looking at other women, seeing her husband, and knowing that there's nothing she can do to compete, there's nothing she could do. She could try to become another woman, but deep down, she realizes that if he accepts that, then he's not really in love with her. He's fallen in love with a version of her that reminds her of somebody else, so she can't win. So I think this is the real issue, and this is what we got to focus on. Forget the marketing part. This is a broken woman, and this is a problem. If we're going to talk about love and relationships and men being men, well, then Derek Jackson has to be held accountable for doing this level of damage to a woman he said he loves. And the last thing I'll say is this: we got to stick to this, because in these times, it is so women aren't this, women aren't that, women need to fix this, women aren't so and so and so. And there's a lot of truth in that. And I think that this conversation has become so big that when we see a woman who was at least trying, Now, we could say her methodology was off. We could say she was insecure. But when we see a wife triumph, we're more prone to focus on the negative of that, on the possibility that maybe this is a marketing ploy, than sticking to the issue at hand and realizing that a wife tried to be one and she got broken in the process.